Hello. Oh, I'm still going live. I'm live. Hello.
You do your thing. I'll
Hello.
be right there, honey.
Peggy's pulling a table over so she has some place to put her tea.
This table is filthy. Oh my god!
And she's announcing that our table is filthy. Thanks, honey.
It's where I usually sit with my
Peggy's table. That's why it's filthy, because you're filthy. You should see the look.
I'm gonna go back over here.
Over the table with her mug, and she just stops and stares at me.
That's exactly why you said it, because you like it when I stop and stare
I do like
at you.
that. That's true.
You're like
I'm
the
gonna
bratty
pop out
kid.
the chat. I can do it. Oh, you're bumping the camera. What is your problem? I know what your problem is.
Stare at the poop. Stare at the poop.
I've got that poop. I don't want to stare at your fossil poop. That's
I've
disgusting.
got real poop. We're gonna stare at poop.
Peggy's being gross again.
Hi guys.
Hi Shayla. Are you stealing her spot? Come here. Oh, I've got a fluff
Princess puppy. Princess puppy pants actually wants to be on camera for a
change. Look at her. She's like, hello.
Ugh.
With her giant ears. You smell bad. You need a bath.
Yoda, come here. Hi.
I was popping out the chat and then I totally hid the chat.
We hid the chat so that we can talk and don't have to concern ourselves with what you guys are saying.
Hello, everybody.
You're mean. I didn't even do it.
Control plus. I need all the.
Oh my god, that's a lot of plus. Hi guys.
Peggy made this. This is her spazzy scrappy quilt. I say spazzy because that's so clashy.
Yeah, I get like this when I'm sick, and Lisa likes me to stay sick all the time.
I do like your sexy cold voice. It's true. Oh no, what did I do?
She made things go away.
I hit a button.
She screwed things. Oh my god, she wrecked the things. She touched a button.
I broke it. Hold on. Oh, there it is. It's back. So hello to everybody. Oh, I'm on top chat. That's not good.
Live chat.
Al, Heather, Tar Apple, Jen, Sandra, Aquamarine, Heather,
Kimberly somewhere in
Barb,
time. Al,
Lynette,
all the people.
Amethyst.
All the people.
I'm gonna do it. Gail. I can do it. Cat.
Hun,
I want to say hi to all the people.
Hi everybody. That's how it goes.
Oh.
And then you just hack up a lung.
I want to have. Oh, and Simon. I want to have a tisk.
Oh yeah, apparently you're the afterthought today, Simon.
I'm sorry. My tea's too hot to sip yet, so you guys have to deal with me coughing for another minute, so I don't burn my face off. And Peggy coughing. Oh, look, you have water.
It's crunchy because it's got germs in it.
That's gross.
And yet you're gonna drink it.
I need something.
So not fitting in.
Yeah.
I'm like the master of that.
Let's make sure we're at the bottom of the chat here. Oh, there we go. Hi, Dustin.
Hi, Dustin. Hi, anybody else?
Hi, Ozark.
We're just going to be hacking and cough.
This is what we're doing, but this is why it took 2
We're
weeks.
actually feeling better. This is this weird thing where you get a cold and it goes into your chest a little bit. The cold goes away after just a few days, and then all the leftovers stay behind and try to kill you.
It's true.
Yeah, well, we've been better. We've been better for a week now. Just sounding like this.
Speak for yourself. I'm
awesome.
I've been awfully sleepy. I've been so
Well,
sleepy. I just wanted to sleep all the time. Peggy's feeling better because she can
you
nap
fit
for
in
4 hours at a time.
Here's
I woke up at 4 p.m. today. No shame. See, I wish. You have our stream running on your laptop, and our internet is not going to like that. Go fix it.
Fix it. I didn't realize it was running. I can see myself getting up. It's kind of weird.
It's where, I am convinced that I got the death cold from the gem show, because really the gem show is like a giant candy dish of rocks that everybody sticks their hands in. So that's what I think is happening.
Yeah, that's your excuse.
Is that top lamp even on?
No, probably not.
No.
We're fine. We have lots of light today.
Okay, yeah, we're visible.
So not fitting in.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the topic.
We're going to try and stay on top.
Try. We'll see if it works.
You're already interrupting me, so I don't think it's going to.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Malayan tea, what's that?
What?
Ozark Oracle says you need some Malayan tea. I don't know what
Malanta?
Not Malanta. It says Moulaine tea.
Oh, there we go. Moulaine tea.
Let me pull the chat in a little closer for poor blind Peggy. Let's make sure I'm not blocking. Oh, I am blocking. There we go.
Something I mentioned in the other chat, and you were just.
Are you leaving, Shayla? Shayla's like, I'm done with you. I'm talking too much.
Something when you were just winding up, is that there's always going to the idea of fitting in is something that never stops. Because you're gonna get a new job, so now you got to fit in with your new coworkers. You're gonna move, so you got to fit in with your new neighbors. But you
don't got to fit in with any of those people.
Well,
because fuck them.
Kinda, yeah.
I beat you to it. I beat you to it.
No, it's the ongoing because basically when it comes to this sort of stuff, when it comes to anything like this that's personal, it just never stops because life goes on. So you always are going to find yourself in different situations, different times, and sometimes you're just like, okay, I really need to fit in here because it's my job or it's my new neighbors or whatever. And then other places it's going to be bad. Fuck them.
I think it's interesting. Yeah, glistering germs. Oh my God. I know we're going to do it again, but I'm bringing hand sanitizer. Peggy and I are going to check out a little gem show in Richmond next weekend.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really need to go.
Yeah, I think we do try and fit in without being aware, because there's places in our, that's what Simon just said.
Yeah.
Because there's places in our life, like I said, like, okay, like Simon, if you take, because you just got a new job a few months ago, and if you take the time to think about it, you're still at the trying to fit in stage, even if it's a positive experience. And this is the thing, when it's a positive, going amazingly well, you're still learning what the new people in your workday do and don't like, how to get along with them. And even when it's a positive experience, it's still a learning curve.
That's exactly right, Heather.
Because I remember Simon said that he just loved the new job.
That's a really, really good point that you have this period. I also wanted to say that, like, when I was planning this video, I was like, what am I going to say about being the black sheep? Because I felt like the black sheep several times, like, in my life, obviously, for quite a few reasons. You know, whether it was
I was the black sheep since day one. So.
Well, you were a scapegoat in your family. I think that one of the things that I found really interesting as soon as I started to write about what I wanted to say in this video was I realized right away that it's actually being the outsider, which I hope I framed the discussion properly in the video. But what I wanted to get across is that it's actually being the outsider and feeling like the black sheep to a certain degree that has given me so many blessings in my life. Like, if I hadn't have had that experience, I wouldn't have learned how to make my own rules and craft my own ethical boundaries and decide really consciously what I wanted to do with my life and who I wanted to surround myself with. And I think that's really, really powerful.
But
and we don't always, sorry. I just want to say, we don't always think about or frame this. We think about the bad side of not fitting in most often, but how often do we really stop and realize all the good stuff we have because we don't fit in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's an overly fluffy bunny approach, but
no, it's a good approach. It's a good approach to have. It's a hard approach to learn, because if you've ever been the scapegoat, if you've ever been for, and whether you can, even if it, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I mean, I was on the outside looking in as a result of negative experiences, but you can be on the outside looking in as a result of positive experiences too.
That's also true. Yeah.
So. But if you've experienced being on the outside looking in for any reason, it makes you acutely aware of exactly where and how you fit in with everyone and everything around you.
Yeah.
Whereas people who have just had that nice middle of the road average experience don't really notice it the same way.
And that's very true.
So they're not having
a good point too, like making a conscious decision to be out. The way that I handled this, for me, being out, was my first day at a new job. I put a wedding picture up of Peggy and I, and it was the easiest way to make it a non-issue, but still make it very clear that this is who I am. And like, you guys know Peggy. As soon as people met her, they were like, "Oh, it's Peggy," and they all get excited when she shows up.
Oh yeah, her coworkers loved me.
They loved her.
Your boss, oh my God, and Lorinda, she was funny.
Yeah, my old boss. It took her a little bit. Peggy like unsettled her quite a lot.
A little bit, yeah.
You can kind of tell.
It took her a while to warm up.
But then she would get so excited whenever Peggy would show up. She'd come out of her back office and be like, "Peggy's here." But
she was like this totally like.
But part of what
Lorinda was a very like stiff,
conservative, maybe.
Stiff. Well, she was definitely conservative.
She was a little bit stiff, yeah. But she
had to think about it for a while.
Yeah. Once she got her head around it, right?
When she got her head around it, she's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
But I liked putting wedding pictures up. People can choose to notice.
Try to fit in and blend in.
People can choose to notice, choose not to notice, and it was a way for me to be out.
I don't know why people like me, but they do.
The thing.
I love you.
I'm talking. I know.
I was complimented. And
I know. And you had to stop everything because you were given a compliment.
Exactly.
I understand. It's impossible to just not love Peggy. I'm telling you guys, if I could clone her or male versions of her for my straight friends, I totally would. Well, that's weird. That just got
really weird.
Yeah.
You just made it weird.
Just made it
you
really
made
weird.
it weird.
Why?
But you know what? That's a fitting in thing, though. It's like people get so worried about making it weird or acting weird or
Heidi asked you a very specific question. Sorry, I know I just interrupted you. Go ahead.
You interrupted me.
I complain when you do it to me.
I didn't. Okay,
then I do it to you. Heidi says, Peggy, what gave you the inner fortitude to break out of being a scapegoat and having such a determination to be yourself?
I just stopped giving a shit.
Nobody is surprised by that answer. But how do you just stop? How do you just turn that? Like so many of us, how do you just turn that off? Like,
it's kind of funny because you do, but you don't. It's you do, but you don't, because what you do is you kind of get
mailies. Sorry. I got distracted.
Now you guys are all making it weird.
We're all making it weird. Let's just clone all of us. Sorry, Karen, continue your point. I'm sorry.
Basically cloning with a gender switch.
I like it.
You would like it. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, I want to be able to hand you out like Halloween candy to my friends, right?
That's fine.
Everybody
okay. I get it.
You're flattered.
I'm flattered and a little creeped out. All this. No, it's fine.
That's how we live our lives.
I know a compliment when I hear one, and I am not about to waste my time on worrying about where it came from.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so my situation was really simple. My mother got pregnant and married my father, and she probably would have never
married him otherwise.
And of course, she tells a different story, and of course, she's full of shit. But anyway, so basically, she gets married. She has me. Then the resentments start kicking in or whatever. My dad, he was just kind of a hands-off over there, like, you know.
So many dads from your generation, though.
They were kind of
our generation are kind of hands-off, right?
So I'm getting this. So basically, you grow up with this as the norm. And then you just kind of go, I don't need to let her I don't need to let this one or two people, these one or two situations define my life.
Yeah.
So then you start taking stock of who and what is around you. And it's like, I've got friends who care about me, who I get along with. Because when you take stock and you look around, you realize that there are situations and places and people in your life who you can be yourself with and not worry about it. And I'm like, I'm just going to focus on those people. And if the people that are determined to if the people that are determined to be dumbasses in my life are determined to be that way, I can just ignore their crap. And that's what I started doing.
I will say, having observed and listened to things that you've said, though, I think part of it also for Peggy, I'm going to just speak for you for a second, but just what I've observed, I think to a certain degree, her mother was constantly imagining, like her mother kind of decided who Peggy was without actually getting to know who Peggy was, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And because she so clearly would say, this is who you are, and you knew that was wrong.
Well, I knew it wasn't true.
So. Because you knew it wasn't true, though, I think to a certain degree, it really helped you to go, well, she's full of crap, and I can see that because she's saying things about me that I know are wrong. She's determined to see that I am this person that she thinks I am. So I'm going to be whoever the hell I want to be. And I do think that helped it, because if, like,
when you look at,
I was kind of groomed to be a particular way. Like, I was raised to be the always smiling, positive, like the kid that made everybody else feel better. So to a certain degree, I was kind of trained to be the rock with my family. And I feel like I was very subtle, and I was like constantly like subtly rewarded for that kind of behavior. So for me, I wasn't ever able to see, well, that's not who I am, because I was being boxed into a fairly positive bubble. It's a really hard thing to describe how trapped that can make you feel when it seems like it's good on the outside. But I was being pushed into this like bubble of who I thought I was based on the reinforcement I was getting. But I didn't know that wasn't necessarily
it took you a lot. Yeah, it took you a lot longer, because you were.
Whereas with you, your mom was like, "Oh,
my mom was lazy.
I can't talk to you when you're drunk and you've had like a drink, and you're like, I'm
like,
so really
dude, I had like 2 drinks 8 hours ago. I'm not drunk. Oh, I can never talk to you when you're drunk. And it's like, dude, this is the first time I ever went to a party. I was there for like 8 or 9 hours. I had 2 drinks the whole time I was there. It's the first time I'd ever
You've never even been drunk, have you?
No, I've never been drunk.
She's a good example for you guys, kids.
Well, the very first party I ever went to, so the very first time I went drinking was with my cousins. But I walk in and my oldest cousin is sitting there passed out with a cigarette burning his hand. Like it was already burnt down, because he was an alcoholic. He was like he eventually drank himself to death, alcoholic. Like he drank tainted moonshine and died.
Yeah.
So that when walking in the door, the first time you're going to go have a couple of drinks with your cousins, you see that, you kind of, hey, I don't want to be that guy. Anyway, 8 hours later, I go home, and my mom's like, I can never talk to you like this. I'm going, what are you talking about? I'm stone cold sober, and I've never drank before. Except for a drink at home a couple of times that you knew about.
She did that about pot too. She
did that about pot. She did that about
she's
smoking.
like, oh, you've been smoking. I know you've been smoking pot with your father since you were like
14,
and you'd only had it the first time that day or something.
Something ridiculous.
Like her mom was just so over the top and obvious about.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like where I was raised, it was a lot more subtle. Lulu said she had a similar experience.
Basically, yeah. But my mother would never admit it. But I also look very, very, very much like my mother.
Hi, putting on the
and
lips.
She was kind of committed to making sure that I lived. She was committed to trying to make sure that I made all the same mistakes that she made in life, so that she could point at it and go. Anyway, that's over explaining. Basically, yeah, I had a crap mom. Anyway,
one thing I think that
you start encountering these situations. You start encountering these situations where you start to realize it's like, this is not coming from everybody in my life. It's not me.
Yeah, and I think that was the struggle first for me.
It's like, oh, I can try to make my mom happy, which is never going to happen. There's other people in my life that I can try to make happy, that it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Or I can just be myself. And Heather made a comment about, not fitting in can be really, really lonely. But what I found was trying to fit in was just as lonely.
I found
just
the same,
as
actually.
lonely, because I was constantly frustrated, constantly upset with myself, constantly trying to do the right thing when the right thing changed on a daily basis.
I also think there's something to be said about the fact that some of us who have felt like we were on the outside for a long time begin to identify with being the outsider to a degree where we don't even know how to let that identity go. We don't necessarily know how to suddenly realize, wait, yeah, I still don't fit in with these people over here, but for years now I fit in with these people over here. We identify so much with being the cast out or the outsider or the wallflower that we don't even recognize when that's actually changed for us. And so we're like still kind of clinging to that old identity. And that can make it difficult to move forward in a way, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of nodding at what people are saying. I don't want to interrupt Lisa because we can't talk anyway.
It's effort to say things.
No, the thing is that now this, and I don't want to make a generalization. Well, I'm going to make a generalization, but I am perfectly aware that this is not everybody's experience. But a lot of people that struggle with fitting in are because something has happened in their life to make them consciously and acutely aware of a time, a place, or a situation where they really, really wanted to fit in, but just couldn't.
Yeah.
Everybody's been through that to one degree or another, I think. And it doesn't have to, okay, mine came from a shitty background. Now, there was an advantage to this. And it sounds really fucked up to say this was an advantage, but it put me in a state of awareness. Like when I came home and said, oh, hey, Mom, Dad, just so you know, I started smoking last week. And my mom looks me in the eye and goes, you don't need to lie. I know you've been smoking for the last couple of years. And it's like, I'm not lying. And then she's yelling at me for lying about how long I've been smoking.
Gaslighting.
Well, she was lazy. It was lazy.
I shouldn't do the thing.
It was lazy gaslighting. It was like, because I would say blah, and then she would tell me what she believed was actually going on and would not believe me when
she had a vision of who you were in her mind, though, that never matched who you really were.
No, yeah, exactly.
So it became obvious, I think.
Well, she became committed. I was like
proving that what she thought of you was true.
I was the kid she didn't want.
Yeah.
I'm the reason why she got married to somebody she didn't want to marry. So there's all that stuff. But the advantage, and this is the fucked up thing, there's an advantage to this because you have a much more, it's an advantage and a disadvantage. You have a much more conscious awareness of, I'm never going to fit in with her and what she expects unless I become the POS that she wants me to be, just to validate her existence.
Yeah.
Like there was this backward stuff going, because she was not much.
She was waiting for you to be
her.
Yeah.
She was waiting. She wanted
to be better. This was our mom was the same way in the sense that she competed with us in this weird, subtle way where she always wanted to be.
My mom tried the same thing.
I remember when I called her and told her, this was so funny. Back when I was on the diet roller coaster, I called my mom the one day and was like, oh, I've lost some weight, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, how much do you weigh now or whatever? And I told her. And she was like, oh, you still weigh more than me. And I was like,
exactly.
Who says that? Right? But it's like this subtle competition thing that happens that I think is a common thread with narcissistic parents, which is something that is obviously a repeating thread in these chats because that's Peggy in my background. But You know, it's not
I
just.
I stopped trying to fit in and just concentrated on getting along. I can get along. I don't have to like. Okay,
You should say this bluntly because I know where you're going with it.
I don't have to get along with any of you.
It's true.
I don't. No, actually, I like to get along with people. I'm very good
to, but you don't.
I don't have to fit. I don't have to fit in. I don't have to share every single thing with every single person in order to feel good about myself, in order to feel good about those people.
I just realized something behind us. You can only probably see the bottom half, but this hanging that's on that side says, "Don't try so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out." And I love that. I love that. That was hanging in my yoga studio for a while.
But I mean, here's the thing. You talk to somebody and it's like, oh my God, I have this amazing close relationship with my family. And I'm like, congratulations. I'm honestly happy for those people that have a good relationship with their family. Yeah, like I don't
resent that when other people have that. It's just not relatable.
It's not relatable. I don't have to try and fit in with that.
Yeah.
I don't have to go, oh, you have a good relationship with your family. I should try to have a good relationship with mine. I'm like, that's good for you. My family's shit, but that's okay. And I just move on. I don't have to worry so much.
Yeah. Simon said something I wanted to.
You're scrolling up. Oh my God.
I know because I saw something earlier that I wanted to comment on and I'm losing it now.
We're doing the thing. But like, the thing is that every single person in here, every single one of you, if you were to list something that is completely not like most of us are connecting through tarot. If we list something that we like, that we are interested in, that has absolutely no connection with tarot, we're going to find that about half the people we're going to go, oh, that's really cool. And we're going to like it and be interested. And the other half, we're going to go, oh, that's really cool, but I'm not interested in it. And we don't need to fit in with that. If one of you guys has a hobby of skydiving, congratulations. Now don't ask me to ever go with you. That's a not fitting in.
Yeah.
And it is. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change who you are. And it doesn't change anything about how you do or don't want to get along with that person. And you can apply that to everything.
It's really true.
There are people in my life that I am so diametrically opposite to those people, and I still get along with them amazingly well.
Yeah, I think it's really cool when you start to recognize, for me, learning to be myself was this decade plus long process, which thankfully I had a great example to learn from. But I was starting to learn.
I like some metal some of the time, but I wouldn't go to a metal concert because I have a hearing. It's very, very minor and almost completely imperceptible. I have enough of a minor hearing problem that I would leave with a migraine. So you're on your own.
I was talking good things about you and you still interrupted.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
wait, I'm saying a thing. So the thing is, for me, learning to get comfortable being myself, it's not something you can just go, at least in my opinion, you can't just like flip a switch and go, okay, I'm just going to be myself now and fuck everybody else. Because it's not that easy. It's like you have to, in my experience, you have to start with baby steps, little teeny bits at a time, letting your true self shine through and recognizing that you're okay, that you're safe, that it's okay.
Well, and there's times where it doesn't make sense.
Well, and I did comment on that, but before we go down that whole rabbit hole, because that is totally a rabbit hole and it is a good one. But before we go there, I just kind of want to say, like, for a lot of us, we're struggling to learn how to do this and how to get comfortable with not fitting in and all these things.
And try to learn how to do it in a way that here's the thing. It doesn't have to be. You might try to fit in by doing a certain set of things. And I might look at that and go, that doesn't make sense to me. But if it feels healthy and comfortable to you, then it makes sense. So we're all learning how to do it in a way that feels healthy to us.
I can't compete with you because I don't have enough voice.
Aww.
So you gotta let me finish my points.
I will try.
Basically, I guess what I'm trying to, I'll try to simplify it, but basically, it's not something that we can all just go, boom, flip the switch on. It's more like start to slowly let yourself leak out into the world. You know what I mean? Like it's like this process of allowing and giving yourself permission. This is the hardest thing for me, but giving yourself permission to not be liked and for that to be okay.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of the entire journey, is going, you know what? I'm going to be myself because if this person doesn't like me, it's okay, right? Thanks, moderators. I'm very slow with the moderator.
Well, basically, like what Jen said, basically the idea is not to apply it logically and take out the emotion. If I have to be logical and emotionless, then what's the fucking point?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be myself. And I don't need to worry. I cannot and should not be concerned with how I like to make I like to make other people feel positive and blah 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 blah. But if I'm interacting with somebody and they're not feeling positive and they're not feeling whatever, it's like, okay, then this is time to move on. I don't have to. I'm not responsible for the other guy's happiness.
Elle makes a really good point.
I'm responsible. I think it's normal to feel responsible for putting a positive effort forward, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not responsible if I'm being myself and that's a problem for you. I'm not responsible for that because I can't be somebody else for your comfort.
Yes, that's very, very true. Elle says, and I want to address, for so long I never felt valid in my feelings or that I'm a liar because my parents never meant or intended to fuck me up on purpose. And that stopped me from doing the healing that I needed. I really, really struggled with this for a very long time. It's like, well, I know nobody meant to hurt me, therefore I wasn't hurt. Is like kind of where my brain goes.
Yeah, you went through a lot of that.
And so,
they didn't mean it that way.
And I still struggle with this when I feel, when my boundaries get trampled on, or when I end up feeling out of sorts with somebody, I automatically go, well, I know they didn't mean it. And so I actually invalidate my own experience. Yep. That is so freaking normal.
This is what I was saying earlier, is that for me...
Oh, that was a really old comment. My chat paused.
Oh, our chat paused. For me, knowing... being there was I don't know what my parents' intention was, but obviously there was no intention or giving a shit about fixing anything, right? So for me, there was no delusion, and I don't want to say delusion. That's probably the wrong word. Your family, your parents are going to raise you the best way they know how,
with the tools that they have
available. Tools that they have available, and sometimes, no matter how hard they try, you're still going to end up screwed up.
Sometimes all the tools in their toolbox sometimes all the tools in their toolbox are the asshole tools. And that's just the set that they've been given. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes your parents are just assholes, and sometimes they're not assholes, and they're just messed up.
Like, I mean, I've got some relatives that their parents were like absolutely amazing, and the kids were still fucked up because there were certain tools that the parents just didn't have. And it made it a whole lot easier for me to go, I don't need to fit in with what you think I need to be. It made it so much easier for me to walk away from a lot of that.
Sorry, Monica, I didn't see anybody delete your comments, so something might have happened on your end because it doesn't look like it came through and got deleted. Please do share it again if you're willing, because I definitely want to hear what you have to say. Yeah. Sometimes YouTube does weird crap.
Yes.
I also wanted to say, Simon made a point about how we can't be all things to all people.
No, we can't.
I really did truly.
Once you learn that, it really changes everything about how you approach the world.
I learned that lesson very consciously through teaching yoga because, and I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because it's so valid to this conversation. But when you're first learning to teach yoga and you're a new teacher and you're trying to kind of prove yourself as a teacher, it's really, really easy, and this is probably true of almost anything that you do in front of a group, but it's really easy to get caught up in wanting everybody to have their perfect yoga experience.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you struggled with that for a while.
In the very beginning, I would like teach a class the way that I wanted to teach it, and I would get feedback. And sometimes the feedback was this class was too slow, or it was too gentle, or it was too fast, or any of that kind of stuff. And I would get this feedback. So then the next class, I'd try to incorporate all of that feedback and do the class so that it would work for everybody that gave me feedback, which I quickly realized was an impossible task because these
no people wanted it the same.
I would fix it for these people, and then all of a sudden new people would have an issue. And so
old people would have an issue because they never
spoken up.
They had never, because they didn't need to.
Right. Because I was already doing what they liked. So
and then she just started doing what you liked.
Yeah, that's basically the punch. You're stealing my punchline. Don't do that.
I love you. I'm drinking tea and not dying.
Over time, I basically learned that if I teach the way that feels authentic to me, in the way that makes me feel good, where I feel like I'm doing the style that I want to do, the practice I'm passionate about. When I started doing that and letting the people that didn't like it leave and being okay with that, I started teaching better and better and better.
Well, and the funny thing is that nobody left. There were people that left, and this is the part that you forget about. There were people who left because what Lisa was teaching and the way she was teaching it just didn't resonate with them. There was no hard feelings.
No, that's the thing. That's actually really beautiful because I'm letting them go find the person.
Yeah, you're interrupting me, and I'm going to get all whiny now. My turn to whine.
It is your turn. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We already do this to begin with when we're sick. Oh my God,
we're so whiny about it.
Nobody finishes a sentence. But the thing is, what ended up happening though? You don't remember this, so I'm going to remind you. What ended up happening is that there were some people that left, because they wanted to type. But yoga, there's all different. Anybody who's not into yoga, there's like 5 or 6 different styles of yoga.
There's more than that.
Well, there's more than that, but there's a minimum 5 or 6 different styles that somebody can recognize easily. Anyway, I'm babbling. I'm babbling because I can, and it's what I do. So there. But there were people that left who started sending their friends and relatives because, oh, I've been trying to get my cousin so-and-so to come to this kind of yoga with me, but they don't like it. But then I remembered that this is what you're teaching. And even though it's not my style, I think it would be a perfect fit for this person.
Yeah.
So once you stop trying to fit in with 10 different sets of wants and needs, all of a sudden the things that did fit started finding you.
Yeah, well, and this is exactly the thing. When you actually embrace
thumbs up. Elle will get so pissed.
When you actually, I'm not teaching right now. It's kind of run its course for me, at least for the recent years. For now, but gentle hatha, body positive yoga. So I do when I teach, I actually weave in body image stuff, and I really try to weave in self-worth, which is why I'm so excited to incorporate this into the YouTube too, because self-worth is just a topic I'm really, really passionate about.
Oh, okay.
What did I miss? Oh, Monica. Oh, okay. It's about how my mom asked me to remove photo of my new tattoo from Facebook because I'm embarrassing her in front of family. I basically crossed continents 20 years ago to run away from control. Exactly. It's like, well, if you don't like it, you don't have to look at it. It's basically.
It's like, dude, I'm so fucking far away now.
But I know what you mean. Geographic distance does not protect us from being triggered by family when family is toxic.
Well, there's a reason why I haven't spoken to my family in 15 years. So it's like, but
it's not crazy, Simon, because here's the thing. Simon mentions that he covers his tattoos up when he goes to see his folks. This is what I kind of tried to get across in the video too, is that we're going to make conscious decisions to hide who we really are in certain contexts and in certain environments, because that makes us feel better in that immediate situation. And there's no shame in that. I kind of wanted to make that point. There's no shame in choosing to hide things about yourself to get by so that you can enjoy an interaction with a particular group of people. I do, Barb, but I haven't made any content for that YouTube in forever. But yeah, I'm the Fat Yogini, if you ever want to look me up.
Choosing to accommodate somebody else's comfort for the sake of getting along for a few hours and fitting in are often two completely different things, though. Yeah. There's people back in the day, there was like, I don't look like the dress wearing kind. But
what? No.
But there's people back in the day that
turn this a little bit.
There's a few people back in the day that if it had been important to them, I would have girlied up a little bit to go see them just for their comfort. Yeah. And I didn't need to, because like, you've got that one aunt that you only see once a year.
Yeah.
You're going to cover the tattoos. You're going to
Okay, my yoga channel name is called The Fat Yogini, but I haven't made any content for it for a while. You can find me on Facebook under that and find my old content. I've got some classes and things that you can watch, but
sorry, I wanted to give you a chance.
I know that was a bit of a side rail. But yeah, it's hard to film yoga. I've had requests for that even on this channel. It's a little bit hard to film just because in order to get my full body in the shot, we have to have a little bit more space. So it's a little trickier to set up, but I might do some more meditation-y or small things here and there just to play with it. But
see, sometimes fitting in does require that you are the one that makes a bit of an accommodation. Yeah. It's not, because if every single one of us went around going, this was what I'm doing, and if you don't like it, fuck you, which you can do in some, everybody can and should be doing that with some aspects of things in their life that matter to them.
Yeah.
But if we all did that all the time over everything, we'd all just be sitting in our own bubbles hating each other.
That's so true. It's kind of funny because so many of us have this shared experience, because at the end of the day, most of us have felt on the outside looking in some way. And I think I even mentioned it in the video.
See, I don't think you should be nervous about their reaction, Simon, because honestly, you do take the time to cover them up most of the time. So if there's any reaction, you can say, oh no, I've had these for a really long time. Normally I cover them up just, out of respect for you.
Exactly.
And then it's on them to think about it. You're not being rude and you're not being ignorant, but you are kind of turning the tables on them to say, well, normally I cover them up out of respect, but obviously I can't do that today. So let's just get on with what we're doing. let them be the ones to accommodate for a change, and remind them gently that you normally accommodate, and walk in with the expectation that it's their turn.
That's very good advice.
That
is super, super solid, because you are clearly making an effort to be respectful of their beliefs and their comfort level by covering them up all the time. So yeah, if you're at the beach and you can't cover it, if anything gets said, Peggy's advice is spot on. It's like, well, I do normally make an effort to cover it up so that you don't have to look at that, because I know that would bother you. But and then just let them deal. I think that's so good.
And the thing is that, like, it sounds like you have a fairly positive relationship with your family. So hopefully they'll take that minute, just quietly turn around and say, oh, I have to pop off to the bathroom for a moment, or, oh, I think I'm going to go get a drink, and give them a cup, step away, do whatever.
And Monica, I will say, you said that distance helps, and you want to be respectful, and you want to accommodate certain things. So you took it off your profile. Okay, so that was your conscious choice to go, I'll accommodate her on this point. I will say, for me, how do I say this
I would honestly, if anybody in my family were in my social media, I would just put a filter. It's like, okay, then you don't need to see anything.
This is actually what I was going to say, is that I think for me, what I did to practice this, or to start to play with this idea of letting myself be myself, is I started to let the people in my life be grown-ups. And I still
let them be adults.
I still freaking struggle with it. I really do. Like, we've talked about this before, even like with where we're going to go to dinner. Oh, this happened last night, actually. Here's a good example. This is a really simple little thing. Peggy and I were talking about what to do for dinner. We're finally in the mood to eat again, and we wanted to eat real food. Neither one of us want to cook. It's like this horrible thing because we're still getting over the cough. And I said, well, what about going to Denny's? There's a Denny's like practically across the street.
24-hour diner.
Peggy's like, I don't know. I don't really know if I'm in the mood for that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I found myself wanting to continue to bring up Denny's. And I realized that instead of just trying to make a case for going to Denny's, all I said to her was, I think I'm actually a little fixated. I think I really want to. And she's like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
and I let her be a grown-up. Now, I could have said, I'm feeling a little fixated. And she could have said, well, I'm really not up for it. So what do you want to do? And we could have had a conversation. But for me, learning to be authentic and learning to really let myself shine through and practicing that was about slowly letting myself be myself and letting other people deal without apologizing to them. So, for example, the tattoo example. I have tattoos that are visible on my forearms. So when I went to work, I left them visible first and let the work decide if they're going to ask me to cover them up. I can still accommodate if I choose, but instead of assuming it's going to be a problem and preemptively planning for that problem, I'm now getting much better at assuming it won't be a problem until it is. Does that make sense? So I'm letting because sometimes I don't give the people in my life nearly enough credit for being able to deal. Because
most of us fall into a situation. I want to say this. I don't know how to say it. I end up. Well, everybody knows me. I end up sounding like I'm going, "Fuck you, you're fucked up."
I like that about you.
We're all fucked up in our own special way. There is no way not to be. It is completely impossible not to be. And when you're in a situation or a place in your life when you are actively engaging your self-awareness for your personal growth, you become self-aware of the bad. You don't just become self-aware of the good things.
That's right.
You become self-aware of all the things. And then you go, oh, I worry too much about fitting in. I have a problem with this. This is an issue for me.
Elle.
You're welcome, Elle.
You guys are so fast. Thank God.
If you're not fucked up, you must. We're all fucked up in some special way. There's absolutely no way to avoid it. It is a fact of life.
I love those.
But somebody who is like,
you're shouting and that's not good on your voice.
Sorry, guys.
She's getting real passionate.
I'm getting all. But we are. Everybody's fucked up in some way over something. Usually many things. We're all different. We're all different, and sometimes those differences make us feel alienated, make us feel like we're not fitting in, make us feel like there's a problem, and we don't have. It's not a switch you turn off. I didn't turn this switch off overnight. I got, and
you just look like you did because you got it so like down pat now. right?
But I grew up.
And some of us are like, how is it so easy for you? But
because I grew up with this.
Doesn't mean that it was. Yeah, exactly.
I grew up with this in a way that self-awareness started early for me. Now, that's fucked up, but in a way, it's also a little bit lucky.
It's a bit of a blessing, yeah.
It's a bit of a blessing because I started off with a level of self-awareness.
Somebody's going to get to it before I can. Yeah, trust me.
I'm a special kind of fucked up. Yeah, be proud of your fuck up in this. My God,
you know what Kat said, and I want to address this really quick, sorry. She says, yes, when she's done this, which is let people be grown up, she's found that people either don't bat an eyelid or they recognize that any issue they have is theirs. If you treat people like you assume they're not going to have a problem with who you are, it's amazing how fast some of those people will get their shit together and think about it. Because by treating them like they should be fine with it, like by assuming they should be fine with it, they're a little quicker to think about, why would I not be fine with it? And it's not going to work all the time. But you might find that people really grow up by having that opportunity. Anybody
that's going to look you in the eye and go, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, nothing wrong with me. There's a fucking door. Be a grown up or get the fuck out of my life. And then you have all the people that you have in your life that you really can't do that with, which is sad. I mean, we are all in that situation with somebody. So
Heidi said, I just told my mom I started reading tarot. She didn't talk to me for a bit, but eventually said, as disappointed as she was that I was responsible for my actions. Not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's what I did. I'm going to tell this story really quickly because it's relevant and because it's whatever. My biological dad knew that I was gay for years. And he was the first person I came out to because I was angry, which was not the best way to come out to somebody.
Wow.
But he struggled with it. But when Peggy and I got engaged, I sent a save the date notice out to family. And that was my way to give them time to be a grown up or not and let them sort it out before sending formal invitations, which I'm so grateful that I did because it really helped to see. It helped me early on to know who was going to be cool and who wasn't going to be cool. But sent off save the dates, got a letter back from my dad. I recently actually reread my response to him and it was really good. So I was really proud of myself. But anyway, he wrote me a letter. He basically said, I know that you understand that we don't understand. Was basically exactly what he said.
Yeah, well, he put the responsibility for sucking it up onto you.
And so
be an adult and say, I don't understand. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
So I think
if somebody says I don't get it, I'm okay with that.
So basically, he said, I know that you get that we don't understand. And I basically wrote him back, and I have a copy of this letter still on my computer, which is what I stumbled on the other day. And I basically just said, no, actually, I don't understand that you don't understand. You're entitled to your beliefs, and I'm entitled to have people around me that accept me for who I am. So basically, have a nice life. If you ever change your mind and want to have a conversation, here's how you can reach me. Take care and goodbye. And that was the last time he and I had a meaningful conversation, such as it is. We've only seen each other once since then. It was one of the most empowering things I ever did in my whole life to say, I respect that you have a problem with this, because that's you and that's your choice. But my choice is to not have people around me who have a problem with this. So if you want me in your life, deal. If you don't deal, you can't be in my life. And I made a very conscious decision.
And I know you understand. It's like, I don't have to understand. There is nothing it is not my responsibility.
Yeah, you can.
If you say to me, I don't understand, that's fine. If you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. And I'm not talking about just being gay, anything.
Yeah.
If you look at me and say, hey, Peggy, I don't really understand that, but you do you and it's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to do me and that's fine.
Nobody else is expected or is required to understand me. But if they want to be in my life, they certainly have to accept me.
But it's like, I know you I know you understand. It's like, I have no fucking obligation to understand.
You can so much in the chat. Thank you, Kat. I was very proud of myself because that was when we first got married. So this was like now
almost 14 years ago.
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow, we old folks now.
We old folk. But the thing is that if somebody says to me,
14 or 13?
Okay, let's take.
It's 13.
It's going to be our 13th anniversary.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. You say to me, hey, Peggy, I really love skydiving. Skydiving's fucking amazing. I'm really, just so you know, I'm really into skydiving. I'm going to say, yeah, I don't get it, but more power to you. I'm not going to say, I know you understand. It's not your fucking job it's not your fucking job to legitimize my limitation.
Yes.
So you say,
I love that.
I'm not going to say, now it might be something that you understand. and you might go, oh yeah, oh I totally get it. Lots of people are afraid of heights. Oh yeah, that's me. That's fine. If you happen to understand, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not your fucking obligation to understand, to be. It's my obligation to be a grown up and own it if necessary, and just to be, if it's like, well, the only way you can be my friend is if you're into skydiving, it's going to be, well, I'm really sorry, but this is not something that I'm not going to suddenly be okay with heights.
Because yeah, and Jen says, I feel
now
sometimes I feel she sometimes says she feels she must be understood, maybe when she doesn't need to. And that's the thing. Other people don't have to understand us as long as they respect your chosen path or your chosen way to express your life. Like, it's not always about something as big as being gay. It could be something really subtle, like I like tattoos, and I like tattoos that don't mean crap. I just like pretty ink on my body. That could be a valid thing. Other people don't have to understand that, but at a certain point, if you want to have people in your life that respect you, it's okay to have that boundary and say, you don't have to understand, but it's also not your place to judge me or give me unwanted advice or whatever.
Well, exactly. And sometimes, okay, we had this one friend way back. We had this one of Lisa's coworkers, her husband was born and raised Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And so the one day, like he really bent over backwards to try and be fair and decent and accommodating for his wife's sake. He was a really nice guy. He totally oh, absolutely, gay is horrible, blah, 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 blah. That's fine.
But he loved you.
Oh, he thought, so he came over a few times, whatever. We got along really well. And then the one day he just kind of said, look, I don't get this. And I'd like to ask you a few questions. He wasn't being rude. He wasn't being ignorant. Some of the questions, if you didn't know where they were coming from, would
be considered rude, because he wanted to know who's the guy.
One of the questions was,
which is sometimes
who's the guy in your relationship? Do you do that? Do you have those roles? Now, if some jackass on the street walks up to me, I'm going to go like, who do you think? But anyway,
you said that to him. No, you did. You did. Like, in our relationship, Peggy is kind of the guy, and I'm kind of the girl, and that's. But
not for everything. Like, you make the most money.
Yeah,
you're the one who works. But the thing is, it was okay.
There's a whole gender role discussion there.
He didn't. I was not obligated to understand, or I was not obligated to work within his limitations. He didn't feel obligated to work within mine. We met in the middle. And after getting to know each other, he had some questions. And once he asked questions, he actually felt a whole lot better about just the topic of sexuality in general.
He got so much more comfortable so much more quickly because you were willing to sit down and have a conversation with him without getting up in arms about it.
Well, I was totally willing to say it's okay.
You created a safe space for him to ask questions.
And it's like, and we found the common ground. It's like, your beliefs, I have no problem with your beliefs as long as your beliefs don't include violence.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. He was all of a sudden, he was my best fucking friend until him and his wife split up, because that's a different story. But anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I'm not responsible for doing somebody else's adulting.
That's right.
I don't have to be cruel. I don't have to be mean. And I don't have to be belligerent, even though I can be.
You know, I think my sister and I were both raised in an environment where we were groomed to be responsible for other people's feelings and impressions. And so for me, it's been quite a struggle. But wait. Sorry, I can't talk over you.
Okay.
For me, it's been a struggle to learn how to let people be responsible for their own experience. I always feel like I need to manage other people's reactions or other people's understanding, that I need to explain it just right so they'll get it. It's really hard for me to just let other people sort things out in their head without me micromanaging the process, because I was raised to manage other people's emotions. And when you're raised in that environment, it teaches you that you are responsible for everybody else, when that couldn't be further from the truth.
Well, the only person I'm responsible for is for me.
You're kind of responsible for me.
Well, that's because you're a toddler.
I'm not a toddler. Maybe a little bit. We can't laugh. We're gonna die.
I sound like that 80.
Thanks, Marge.
I sound like an 80-year-old man wheezing. Yeah, Simon and Heidi were Mormons, and I get it. I was not raised in those environments, so I did not have that as something that I needed to overcome.
Yeah,
there are things in my life that I had the advantage of encountering young. Neither one of my parents were too lazy to get up and go to church. I don't know what their beliefs were.
Same. I mean, my mom was Christian-ish.
My mother was raised Baptist. I know that. I don't know what her.
I didn't have the only real religious influence I had in my life was my biological father. But I didn't have enough time with him for that to be seriously stifling. Like it felt stifling enough from a distance.
But we didn't have that sort of stuff. Like my dad was on a disability pension, so there was no work and coworkers to deal with.
Yeah, that's true.
None of that.
Excuse me.
Most of my friends were my family, cousins and stuff like that. So there was, everybody came from the same background with the same expectations. So for me, it was not the happiest of childhoods, but it was a very, but this, like I said, the self-awareness and all that stuff came early, which can be lucky because my later, now I'm having a really good life, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Amethyst Ascension said, and I have feelings about this because of you and how you've raised your boys. One of the many problems I see with some parents is they think their children are younger and less experienced, so they cannot teach them anything. My children teach me all the time. Peggy raised her boys to be equal members of the household, to have a say, to have worthwhile input. And me watching that from the outside, I thought it was the most miraculous, amazing, beautiful thing in ways that I don't think she even ever can fully understand how.
Well, that's just what we did.
But watching that and seeing that modeled for the first time ever in my whole life, seeing somebody treat their children as equals, as people with valid opinions that need to be respected, people with agency, people with the ability to make decisions, watching the way that she included them in important conversations when they were very little. Like even when we got together, she was very clear with me from the beginning. Like, I like you, I want you in my life, but the kids have a say in this too. And we're talking about moving and all these other things. They need to have a say, and their say matters just as much. And I'm not saying a lot of parents don't do that, because lots do, but she did it in little day-to-day ways that I'd never seen modeled before. Explaining to the kids when they're small, okay, mom has this much money to spend, so we can either get you 2 used games from the video game store or 1 new game, 2 or 3 used games or 1 new game.
We did that all the time.
And she would let them decide. She treated them like people who could figure things out for themselves.
Oh my God, they figured out Santa Claus when they were 4 and 5 years old.
But the thing about that to me that was so magical is when you watch people, when you see that, you're like, okay, there are awesome parents out in the world, but B, it was very humbling to move into a household or come into a family where everybody's input clearly mattered. And it made me feel empowered, and it made me feel like I mattered as well. Does that make sense? So the kids taught me a lot, and the way she raised them taught me a lot. Well, they accepted you because they accepted you.
It wasn't something like be nice to your new step.
There was never any pressure.
It was genuine.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wanted to tell that story. I don't know what related, but cold brain. So I mean, you get what you get.
Yeah. No. Well, I got lucky. I got lucky with the kids because they were both hyper smart. Like John was in a program for gifted kids, so I got really lucky that way. So but I always treated them like they were smart.
Aw. Yeah. I just followed Peggy's lead. I didn't do anything besides just do what you did when it comes to the boys. Jen was just saying
I'm amazing.
We've done an awesome job with the boys. You are amazing. Sachi said from the very beginning, my mom has made it clear that she thinks I can't think for myself, so I have to be told, directed what to do and how to act. Lots of parents. Yes, I give myself credit, but my mom
always treated me like that. It was like, but you just kind of reach a point where you go, I don't need to.
Yeah, thank you, because I got distracted there.
Yeah, I don't need to believe you. I don't need to accommodate your beliefs. I just need to be me. And if you don't like it,
this is the really powerful thing, Satya. Bye, Sandra. This is the really, really
bye,
powerful
whoever's
thing.
Leaving, and hello to anybody who's come in the last little bit.
The really powerful thing about other people treating us like we're idiots or that we don't make our own decisions. Oh yeah. The really cool, powerful thing is that at a certain point you can consciously choose to go, they're entitled to think that about me. That doesn't make it true. Yeah. And I'm going to behave the way that I behave if that's not true, because that's not true.
And that's where I'm trying to explain that I got so, as much as it felt like a fucked up childhood. I mean, I felt like I raised myself, but I encountered that early. And that is when you're sitting here on this side of 50 looking back, you go, that was a stroke of luck.
You're on this side of 50, my old lady.
54. I'm 54 this year.
You're
Am I
54 this year. You're going to be
I'm
55.
53.
You're going to get to order off this. No, you're 54. Wait. Yes, because you'll be 55 this year.
I'm 55 this year. I get to order off the seniors
Peggy's the
menu.
old lady. She gets to order off the seniors menu.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm old, and oh my God, I'm just gonna.
It's true though that this stuff does get easier the older you get, because as we get older, we start to care less about what other people think about us generally. We're a little bit. It's like you start to realize I've only got so much time, like, left in my life. Why would I spend it trying to be something I'm not? And it can be really beautiful and empowering to recognize that, like.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, and it's really hard though, because, like, I mean, there are, and again, this goes back to that fucking.
Elsa says you're a liar because 34 sounds about right. She's
12.
She's emotionally
I'm 12.
12.
I'm 12.
But in actual biological years, we just have to slice you open and count the rings. But I'm pretty sure 50.
We should probably not do that. Please don't count the rings.
Oh, I'm sorry. My 92-year-old mom still doesn't know about
the wife to be.
The wife to be. You know, but sometimes you make those conscious decisions to go, like you with your anime, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's certain people you just may choose
it's
to
like,
go.
I only see this. Yeah, my one aunt.
It's not worth it, right?
Okay, let's put this way. My one aunt who
Tar Apple, no wonder you have so much wisdom to impart. Yeah, it's because she's ancient.
I'm old. It's like, yeah.
Everybody else at 55 is young. You
immature.
Specifically are ancient. Like you specifically.
No, I'm too immature to be ancient. No, it's this fucking scale. And I don't think we've had a single chat yet where it hasn't come back to the scale. There are people in your life. Spectrum. There are people in your life for whom getting along with them is important to you. But you can get along with somebody without fitting into their expectations.
Yeah, you don't have to become what they expect.
No. And it can be little things. It can be big things.
Nobody in the chat is aging, clearly.
No.
It's like, I'm going backwards. I don't get older at all.
I know, yeah. It's weird how the kids how the kids get older. But the thing is that there's also people in your life where it's probably to your benefit to go, fuck you, I don't need to fit in with your expectations, and I'm not going to.
Damn straight.
And then you go, oh, but this is my boss. Fuck.
Yeah, there's people you're going to choose. I mean, I mentioned this in the video too. No shame in doing what you got to do to get your life done, right?
Sometimes you're not in a situation. It might be your spouse's. It might be your spouse's mother that it's like, oh well, but.
And Heather makes a good point too. She says sometimes the problem isn't the expectations of others; it's the ones you put on yourself. This is the thing. This is what I meant about letting other people be grown-ups. Sometimes we think we're not fitting in unless we do blah, when the reality is that we already fit in. Or sometimes we think that we're supposed to act and be a certain way or portray ourselves a certain way.
Well, now
this is even true on YouTube, actually. I want to say this really quick.
Okay.
This is actually true on YouTube. Even within our little tarot tube community, sometimes we can get it in our heads that if we're not doing X, Y, Z, like person A, B, C, we're not fitting in.
Yeah.
But actually, that's not the thing that makes you fit in this community, at least in my experience.
Well,
it's the fact that you're willing to share your unique perspective that's what matters. And we're doing that even in this chit chat. Even like whether you're a content creator or you're just chatting or whatever.
We missed last week the challenge.
Oh, the challenge! Peggy had a challenge.
Did anybody do the challenge and film a little video of themselves, whether or not they shared it, just to?
Ozark started her channel.
Oh, cool! So you ripped the Band-Aid.
Here?
You ripped the Band-Aid right off.
I don't know if she was here for the chat last time, but
did anybody
make a video just for you?
A little teeny tiny something. Just to a short whatever. Did anybody at least think about it? About whether and did anybody try?
Yeah, we want to know. I know, Heidi. You know what though? Here's the thing.
No, put them back. Put them. Fuck them. Fuck everybody. Fuck them all.
Okay, wait. We think fuck them. Put them back up. That's what we think because we were really enjoying our content. But there's no shame. At all. I'm not ready for it right now.
Okay, guys.
Tar Apple, I considered it chickened out. You know what, Tar Apple?
But you considered it, and that is an important first step.
That totally counts. And you can always don't forget, you can always glide somebody. You can glide me with your random video, and I'll be like, hey, and I'll watch your stuff. I love watching people's stuff.
You can post something to YouTube and make it private so nobody can, but you can see it. Post it, make a video, post it, put it up, watch it back 10 minutes later, and then delete it. But yeah, Of course it counts. Of course it
Absolutely,
counts.
that counts, Heather. And you actually started a whole new series. You started a beginner series.
Oh, did you?
And I think you even mentioned in your
I have not been watching a lot of videos this
Peggy's
week.
dumb. She doesn't watch as much YouTube as I watch. But I wanted to say something about Heather. So, Heather, I think if I remember correctly, you mentioned something about almost not making that series because you know there's other stuff out there, and then you kind of checked yourself and was like, wait, I want to do this, and you did it anyway. And I think that's freaking
yes,
fantastic.
You did. It does count. Of course it counts.
Absolutely, it counts.
Just the fact of,
did you put the video in the group? Oh yeah,
okay,
you
guys,
made the blooper video.
Can we just back up to something else that we keep using YouTube and making YouTube videos as an example because it's obvious, it's tangible, you can look at it. And we've discussed that. It's not something that people have to feel obligated to do. You don't have to comment on people's videos. You don't have to do fuck all if you don't want to.
That's right.
Can we just remind everybody that I don't have a YouTube channel?
No.
I
just drag you into mine occasionally.
This is all I do. I don't do my own channel. I don't do my own content. I don't even have Glide.
No. When people want to talk to Peggy, they have to Glide me and then I have to show it to her.
Yeah. If anybody wants to send me a video, they have to Glide Lisa first.
Kind of like you don't have a PayPal account either.
I don't have I don't have a PayPal account. Whenever I'm taking an order through PayPal, it has to go through Lisa.
Zark, your video was great.
But you know why?
It is scary, right?
Yeah, but you did it. I mean, I've been on Lisa's videos. I've never made one of my own. Because can we just get back to this? Because I can do whatever the fuck I want, and I don't have to please anybody but myself. And it's nothing. And obviously,
Peggy just yells at me through my glides with Lisa.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Exactly
yeah. Lisa.
So sorry, Barb. Glide is like an instant messaging app, except you send live videos back and forth, so you can watch them live and then record back to each other. So it's kind of like video back and forth chat, or you can also watch the videos later and then reply later.
But yeah, for all of the jokes about what would Peggy do, Peggy doesn't have a YouTube channel because. For people who find the idea of making a video interesting or exciting, it's an interesting challenge. I don't find...
it would feel like work. That's why you like coming online and letting me do all the like admin-y stuff behind the scenes.
I've... Because we did some stuff with YouTube a few years ago, and it was fun, but it felt too much like work. It was like, yeah.
Peggy had a cooking channel on YouTube.
For a little bit, yeah. It was fun. It was a kind of a bit of a challenge because of...
She's a great cooking
I was working with like a whole bunch of people who did not know how to cook pasta.
Yeah.
Did not know how to make
macaroni and cheese.
Instant noodles.
Excuse me. I would love for us to have a setup where you could do more of those because we had a great kitchen.
We were set up for it. Then we're not now.
We had a kitchen where we could actually film into the kitchen. We don't now.
But I don't feel. I never once we moved and had a kitchen that was not set up for convenient filming, so we just stopped because it was work. It was like there is absolute just because this is something that we refer to as an example because people talk about because we're on social media, so we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Nobody has to fucking do it because I certainly don't. It doesn't work for me right now. So
and Aquamarine says, I'm finding YouTubing very fun, but I know I can't commit to like weekly or certain days or to feel like work immediately.
Exactly.
It's funny. Peggy and I have this conversation.
You're kind of the opposite. You find it fun if you can schedule. I don't.
I was going to say, actually, Peggy and I had this conversation at the very beginning because I did not ever want YouTube to feel like work because it's something that feels like a hobby. It's fun for me. It's very nurturing and it fills me up. What's the word for that? It's
empowering,
satisfying. Yeah,
satisfying.
Really
enjoy this.
But there are certain things that would make it feel like work. For example, when I'm not feeling well, I didn't feel bad about postponing Self-Worth Saturday.
Yeah,
it sucked that we couldn't do it, and I missed it. But I also didn't.
But it fits with what you want to do. I don't. Like I said, I made the challenge, make a video, and I didn't make a video.
But we had very conscious conversations about how to make sure it doesn't feel like work. And for me, here's an example. The Tarot on Earth series that I did started to feel like work.
Yeah.
Only because when I got to the point in the book where I was kind of done, I wanted to complete the series. That was a choice I made, and that was fine. But it wasn't exciting or fun for me anymore. And I was like, oh, man. But I totally owned it in the videos. And I was like,
burped.
I was like, that's okay. I burped earlier. I was like,
every time I'm coughing and sucking in air.
Because the air. But this is the thing is that like I was able to recognize, okay, this type of content feels like work because I was, it was like a study group, but it was, I enjoyed talking about my own content, if that makes sense, but I felt weird. Anyways, I'm over explaining and doing a terrible job.
Well, because it's the thing.
It
It's
taught me about what feels like work versus what
you know why?
doesn't.
Because you're trying to reassure everybody.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not letting y'all be grown-ups.
You're not. No, you're not. Well, it's a, okay.
I don't want anybody to feel bad. That's the thing. But
well, yeah, you don't want anybody to feel bad. That's why I was like, well, wait a second. We've used YouTube and making videos as an example for a lot of things. And like I said, it's because we're all sitting here staring at the screen, but I don't even have a YouTube channel. Yeah. And I don't feel obligated to have one. I don't feel like I'm missing it out. And I don't have...
Gemini Dream. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
The video channel was about being... The make a short video was about being seen. And
the challenge, I'm sorry.
The challenge. Yeah. Well, the challenge.
Back to the challenge.
Because there are... Well, no, the challenge was basically there are some people for whom making YouTube videos seems like an exciting prospect, but they really, really want to do it. But there's reasons why they haven't got around to it. So that's why that challenge was there. I don't feel like it's something that I need to do.
Exactly.
And if that doesn't, because it's about fitting in. If making a YouTube video does not fit in with what's important for you, then you just look at me and go, nah, fuck you, Peggy. I ain't doing it. Because you don't have to. And I have to be a grown up and be okay with that and figure it the fuck out, not you.
That's right. If there's something also to be said for letting yourself play. This is something that I consciously do regularly. Letting yourself
let yourself just jump in the fucking puddles, people. Just jump in the puddles. Hi.
I can't. You're too loud.
I know.
No, you're fine. I just meant that I can't. If you take over, I have to just let you because I don't have the energy. But I don't.
Apparently, unless I'm talking loud, I feel like I'm going to cough.
But letting yourself play means you can let yourself...
cooking and baking. Sorry.
I'm going to punch you in the nose.
No, you're not. You're going to punch me in the arm. That's usually where you punch
me. Probably. Yeah. But letting yourself play means letting yourself experiment, giving yourself permission to try things, to sample things, knowing that... No violence, Jen says. But
yeah, be nice to me.
But I love her. And I... Get her to shut up. I'm just kidding. But this is actually a really important point that I don't want to get lost. For me, it was actually really hard to learn that I could just experiment with stuff and I could freaking walk away. This YouTube, as much as I enjoy it, if I stop enjoying it, I'll give myself permission to walk away from it. I won't keep making content just to make you guys happy. And I mean, that's not meant to be a jerky statement. It's just, that's not why I'm here.
We are socially
fulfilling. Fulfilling was the word I wanted
earlier. We're socially conditioned not to say things like that. And then everybody else goes,
no.
We're socially conditioned not to say, yeah, if it stops being, I mean, if you were to stop making content right now for any reason, you'd miss it.
Peggy, being an adult makes me feel okay with admitting I'm an adult now.
Exactly. And you can still jump in the fucking puddles.
I love that. Heidi says just jump in the fucking puddles, people. Needs to be on a t-shirt.
I've got 2 shirts left. Right, I've got 2 shirts right now that I need to do with something, and I don't know what to do.
There you go. Make a jump in the puddles t-shirt.
But yeah, just jump in the.
Yeah, that would be the opposite of self-care. I use it, Heather. You could glide with me. I like gliding with people.
Yeah, there you go. Put it on a bag.
Do you find you have a sense of commitment as your channel grows, Simon? Kind of yes and no. I love putting out content on particular days because I find that if I stick to a schedule, it makes me feel like
you're really
I love routine. Routine makes me so happy.
Yes, routine makes you feel secure.
Yes. So I love
so that works for her. If I were doing videos, I'd do like 3 today and nothing for a month.
For like a month. But yeah, there's a bit of obligation, but to me it feels like a good way. Like when I couldn't make content the last 2 weeks, I felt very out of sorts because I was like, but I want to make a video about this or I want to talk about that. And Lynette just joined Glide. If anybody wants to add her, I don't remember how to add people.
Ooh, a Cheshire cat.
Maybe Simon can tell us. A Cheshire cat Peggy bag. Oh, that's a great idea for Alice. I totally talked Heather into buying the Alice Tarot book, and I was so proud of myself. I messaged her right away on Facebook. I was like, Heather, you didn't get the book, but you need the book. It's so good. By the way, my review of that is going up tomorrow morning. Another coffee horse video. You're welcome. I did miss it when I wasn't making content.
I'm more of a lover of chaos.
Yeah.
So if I were doing, because I know Simon, most of your videos are scheduled, correct? I tend to miss them when they go up, and I always like
actually I think Simon
binge on a weekend.
Simon can correct us, but other than Cup of Ketchup, I think everything else is kind of when he wants to. But I could be wrong. Tell us. I'm curious.
Yeah,
I like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday is my schedule. And but then, yeah, only Cup of Ketchup cards is scheduled.
Because I generally end up binging.
The book is so good.
I usually have a day where I'm just like, I'm gonna watch videos today, and I just try and then I just have tarot videos going all day long.
Yes. Putting on Deglit says I've cut all ties with family more than 25 years ago. I just didn't want that to go past, because the thing is, cutting ties with family for some of us is a really empowering,
I cut all ties
powerful.
15 years ago. I haven't spoken to my family in 15 years, and I have no plans to ever speak to them again. And I am just so much happier for it. Thanks
for checking, Lynette. So if you feel like openly sharing your username, then we can add you on Glide.
Thing is that Lisa feels very grounded with routines. Make Lisa feel
rituals, routines, things that,
but they make you feel grounded. They make you feel very empowered, very positive.
And when
they
have
make
routines,
me nuts.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I have routines to lean into, I'm better able to be spontaneous in other areas of my life. It's like, okay, these are the stable things that I can rely on. And that makes me more able to be creative and spontaneous. In fact, that's what I learned about having a yoga studio. I hated the lack of routine. Nothing was consistent. When I was running a brick and mortar business like that, you have to like basically be available to change things and to
constantly.
There was no routine, and there was also no routine or stability with regards to like money. Like things can be semi-stable, but I missed having a 9-to-5 with the exact same paycheck every 2 weeks. I missed that so hard.
And yet look at me. This doing the Etsy shop is probably like the happiest I've ever been in any earning environment, because I'll have a week where I've got like nothing, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I'll have a week. I just had my sale, and you guys, oh my God, I cannot believe how thank you people for the support. Oh my God, you guys
are amazing.
I'm opening up my computer. Ding, ding, ding. I was like, oh my God, they like me. They really like me.
Elena says it's your MBTI personality. Is that the Myers-Briggs? I am a INFJ or INFP, I think.
I'm not sure which one you are.
I've kind of flip-flopped a bit.
But the thing is, though, is that like I'm absolutely loving the chaos. What I'm doing is kind of chaotic. If I feel like getting a bunch of stuff done, I get a bunch of stuff done. If I
this works so well for her because she can like
personality.
She can dig into it when she's in the mood to dig into it, but she doesn't have to dig into it every single day.
Well, I do something.
Yes,
every day,
Heather. Yes, I'm such a control freak. I like having those things that can be stable and controlled and expected and anticipated.
And that fits in with who you are, and you're not apologizing.
Oh my God, Yelena's like exactly my opposite, pretty much. She's an ESTP. I think you are too.
I'm pretty close to that.
ESTJ or ESTP.
I have a J in mine somewhere. I don't know.
Then you're probably an ESTJ.
But the thing is that
totally your ESTJ.
Is that you don't have to apologize to anybody for craving routines, which works for you. I don't have to apologize for anybody for craving chaos, which works for me.
Exactly. But we also are able to find that middle ground because you recognize that there's areas where I need stability and routine. And I recognize that if that's all you get a little nuts and stir crazy. So we're able to kind of meet in between.
Well, and that's what adulting is all about. We meet in the middle. We let each other be
Christy.
We let each other be an adult and we meet in the middle. And thing is
sometimes when I'm not being neurotic.
Or when I'm not being like, no, let's do all the things, jump in the fucking puddles. And you're like, I need to put my boots on first.
I think I'm
like,
INFP too, Heather. I'm pretty sure. Oh, she might be ESTP instead of ESTJ. You know what? I think we shift sometimes. The P and the J for me is somewhat fluid. Like when I take the test, sometimes I'm P and sometimes I'm J.
I haven't done that test in forever.
You can actually, by the way, there are 16 Myers-Briggs personality types and there are 16 court cards. And if you guys know Jamie Sawyer of Sawyer's Path Tarot, she recently put up in her Instagram stories, I think it is.
I didn't know there was a psycho card. That's probably mine.
I'm going to strangle you, but I'll wait till we're off camera. Anyways, I'm not scary. There are 16 Myers-Briggs personality types and 16 tarot court cards. So Jamie Sawyer of Sawyer's Path, actually, she put together a really cool little graphic she put on her Instagram using some images from a Myers-Briggs site. And she just assigned all the court cards. I think she assigned them or she looked up some articles. I don't remember how it all came about, but it was really fascinating to look at it and to go, okay, so this court card is this Myers-Briggs personality type. I'll pray for Peggy.
Yeah.
She'll be fine. Look how tough she is. It's fine. It's fine. You're tough.
I have to be to survive the beatings.
Beat you. You better correct the internet right now.
She doesn't.
I like to talk big.
Even when she does, she like hits like it's bad.
Are you saying I hit like you wanted to say I hit like
a girl? Yeah, a little girl.
Damn those stereotypes. Yeah,
But yeah,
so you can be very borderline. Some people are ambiverts, so they're introverted in some situations and extroverted in another.
Yeah,
you are a born and bred extrovert. You are for sure.
I'm definitely.
Peggy has no energy if she doesn't get enough conversation in her day.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like, hey, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. It's like
she loves to talk before coffee, which is when I'm most likely to want to murder her because she likes to talk.
But I'm
before
safe
coffee.
with you.
So safe. I only imagine
we had to get Steve to move back in just to be my bodyguard.
That is not true. You're so full of crap. We moved him back in so he could cook for us.
Oh, right. That
and pay rent.
Thing is, okay, so fitting in is not a requirement. It's not an obligation. We find situations in our life where we want to fit in, where we feel that we need to fit in. And that's just the shitty reality of the working world, extended family, whatever. But
you might have to just Google, Jen. You might have to just Google Myers-Briggs personality types and the tarot court cards or something. Because I also found an article that did a comparison that I bookmarked. If I think about it, I'll share it in the Supportive Tarot Facebook group after our live.
Yeah, no, I don't really put a lot of stock in that sort of stuff because what happens is somebody says you're a this, and then suddenly people feel obligated to live up to that.
That's very true too.
And it's like. You can.
Thanks, Jen.
I can be introverted. I mean, I can be extroverted and have a day where I just don't want to fucking talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You can be introverted and have a day where you just want to be out around all the people, and it's perfectly. Just it may not be a common thing for your particular likes and dislikes, but
yeah, a blueprint. Yeah, Elena says I see it only as a blueprint, not more.
Exactly.
I think that's great.
I don't know, fitting in as a topic again.
Oh yeah, thanks for dragging us back to topic. We're so we go all squirrely, and then Peggy just kind of slowly anchors us back in.
But I mean, we've all found ourselves in those situations where it's like somebody's walking up, going, "Hey, blah 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 blah. You like blah, don't you? You're into blah, da 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 da." Because you've created this box. We all do it. I've done it. We've created this box. Like, okay, this box is I'm gonna fuck this, fuck that. If I'm out in public, like at a restaurant or something like that, I'm all please and thank you. I'm not gonna inflict that crap on a stranger who has no idea that it's that it's lurking on.
You just inflicted on me.
You love me. These guys, everybody loves me.
Everybody loves you.
I mean, there's.
Yeah, I agree, Simon. There's definitely more than 16. The 16 Myers-Briggs are definitely.
I'm
pigeonhole you for sure.
Self-help tour. Come to Kansas.
Come to Kansas.
Oh yeah, I will just walk.
I'm scared of Kansas. You have tornadoes there, and I am definitely.
I will come to Kansas. We will walk downtown one day, and you'll be a totally different and slightly traumatized person for the experience.
But I'm actually seriously phobic of tornadoes. I actually get really freaked out and stressed out when there's wind, which there was last night, which woke me up at like 3 a.m. That was not good times. I'm pretty sure that the reason I'm phobic of tornadoes is because of a combination of like watching Wizard of Oz way too young and getting really freaked out, and mom being pregnant with me when she lived in Kansas.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think
that's what I've told myself, so please don't ruin my.
The idea of a tornado does not give me the happy feel goods either. So.
But it makes me actually stressed out.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Everyone loves Peggy L. I mean, she's all right, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You guys, yeah, we'll turn on a cam for 24 hours. You'll change your mind. Like that.
Cat. Oh, these tests don't remotely stand up to actual scientific testing, is my understanding. But it's like tarot. If you learn and understand something about yourself or others, doesn't matter. Yeah, I like using the Myers-Briggs as a self-evaluation tool or self-awareness tool, but not something that I like live and die by. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is that knowing what your tendencies are might help you identify what things that you may or may not want to work on about yourself.
You want a truffle pig?
No, I don't want a truffle.
This one's got peanut butter.
No, I'll cough. I'm already coughing.
I'm gonna have a bunny.
Me turning down chocolate.
Oh my god, a 24-hour self-worth Saturday. No backsies. It must be done.
Oh my god, that would be bad.
You guys would not want to put up with us for 24 hours.
Oh fuck no.
Holy cow. Mind you, that actually
we're a walking, talking sideshow.
This is a perfect segue. I'm not going to eat this bunny's head just yet. Tarot-thon is coming up. If you guys have not seen, Peggy and I are going to do a segment in Tarot-thon. I will try to post the graphic that has the full layout. There's going to be some fantastic, wow, son, hello. There's going to be some fantastic content. It's going to be really, really fun. But Peggy and I are going to be talking about working with the tarot and asking the right questions. So
yes,
I think I'm allowed to talk about that. I just totally did it. So if I'm not, I'm sorry. But that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah,
it's a little spoiler.
See, there's two personality. There's two divergent personalities. Sadia, I would put up with you for 24 hours. Heather is like, nope.
That's why I live.
But that's
alone.
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's absolutely and totally fine because you don't have to accommodate Satya. Satya doesn't have to accommodate you, and yet you're both in the same channel, talking to us, talking to each other, and everybody's having a good time.
Elizabeth, Barb, and us, and you are all in BC. Barb's not on the island.
We're in Coquitlam.
We're in Coquitlam in the Lower Mainland. So apparently it's windy. It's
windy everywhere.
Island.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat this bunny's head now.
Okay. You eat the bunny's head. But no, I don't know. Like fitting in.
Simon booked Monday off for Tarot-thon.
Nice.
He's gonna need to sleep.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need to sleep. Yeah. No, fitting in is easy and it's hard, and it's easy and hard at the same time.
Al, as a vegan, I disapprove of you eating a bunny head. This is not vegan chocolate, nor is it a real bunny. So
it's not no real bunnies were harmed. It is milk chocolate, but fitting in is easy and hard at the same time because while you're trying to be yourself over here, you're needing to fit in other environments in your life. The most obvious is usually at work. Maybe you live at home. If you're still living at home, you're kind of, if you're still living at home, you don't get to just whip off the expectations and be yourself.
I thought you were going to say clothes. You don't get to, no, I thought she was going to say you don't get to just whip off your clothes and run around naked, which is also true.
Okay, when I still
I don't know why my brain went there.
When I still lived at home, I mean, I didn't get to just go, yeah, fuck you, mom. I didn't get to do that. I had to get along with these people unless I wanted to go live on the street, right?
That's what I mentioned in my video. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Sometimes you just got, so it's like, I can go, my mom is a problem, and I'm just going to nod and smile until I'm 18. Sometimes you're in a situation.
I just realized that when I commented on being naked, you almost took your shirt off. That was a very delayed reaction. I was just like, oh, yeah.
I'm wearing a tank top underneath.
Just the fact that I said the word naked.
But the thing is okay. So let's say you make a shit ton of money at your job, but you've got some shit people that you have to try and fit in with. You're not going to throw away a well-paying job.
Exactly. Sometimes you've got to choose.
Stuck with that. So basically, you're going to take the how to get along with people you would rather not spend time with skill over here, and then engage the fitting in skill somewhere else in your life. There's places in your life where you're just not going to feel like you're fitting in no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And you don't. Huh?
I was just saying hi to a couple people.
Oh, hi.
We're nearing the end here.
We are. Yeah, we're getting ready to wind up. But the thing is that self-awareness gives you self-awareness, exploring yourself, your wants and your needs, gives you the tools that you need to identify that. I can walk into environments where I've had a couple of different jobs where it's like, oh my fucking God. And I walked in and I was like, hey, how you doing? I got along with everybody, even the people that can you please just quit? You know what I mean? Like that's where our ability to be an adult comes into play. So your dog just farted.
How do you know?
Because he's right there
next to you.
Yeah, he's right there. It's like, hey, Bruno, how you doing, buddy? But
I think we're all ready to do the 24 hours with Lisa and Peggy.
Oh my God, that'll be bad.
Someday.
Oh my God, yeah.
Maybe we'll plan content. We could actually probably talk for 24 hours. Not when we're like this, because our voices.
Yeah, dog farts and self-help. There you go.
What? Oh,
Heidi
somebody actually said that. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's the T-shirt.
No, don't make it. Look at your face. She's so excited. No.
I had no choice. Don't worry. We're gonna look at the poop. Look at the poop. Look at the poop.
Don't put your petrified poop away. That's disgusting.
This is a corporal.
How much did you pay for that?
It was only like $5 or $10. It wasn't that expensive.
Because it's poop.
It's petrified turtle poop. It's a corporal light.
We could tag team it maybe if we did 24 hours. You don't want to see Peggy without. It is so gross.
It's not gross. It's a fossil.
It's fossil. Never mind.
You see?
Why though?
It's even a little tiny bit shiny because it's starting to crystallize.
What do you mean it's starting to crystallize? Is it not fully fossilized? That's just
no. It's still squishy on the inside.
Gross.
It is not. It is not.
Disgusting.
No. First.
Does it have a smell? No, I don't want to smell it. I'm just asking you. I don't want it anywhere near me. No. Did you smell it? Smell the poop.
Yeah, I smelled it. See if it has a flavor.
No. Did it have a smell?
No. No, you
So
just don't
gross.
like it because of what
Hi,
it is.
Elena.
I'm sorry, Elena. We are so sorry that we frightened you away. Nobody's going to put that poop in their mouth.
Why? Oh my God.
Fossil is me.
Now pastime. Yep. New pastime. Oh God. Okay, we gotta go.
You're just afraid now.
I'm so afraid now.
Okay. Anyway.
I am a little pink.
My God, this started off helpful and beneficial. We were actually adulting very well for the first like 30 minutes or so, and then it went straight to shit.
That's what
Come on, baby.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's what everybody's here for. It's okay, Elena. We're just teasing you. Have a great day.
Yeah. Oh yes, we tease everybody. It was your turn. You have a lovely day.
If you want to say and what we're going to cover next week, I may try, now that YouTube has given me the community tab feature, I may be able to put a poll up right on YouTube on what we're going to cover next week. But the best way to have a say is to go into the Supportive Tarot Facebook group. If you're not in there, join us. Yeah. I put a poll up every single week that we just keep revising. We take off whatever topic that I'm doing, and then we vote on the next topic. So vote on next week's topic. If you have ideas for Self-Worth Saturday, you can either message me on Facebook. There goes my voice. Or you can email me at tarotwithlisa@gmail.com and let me know what idea you want me to cover. And you can totally be anonymous. Like, I don't call out who's asked for what topics.
Yeah.
So
we want to make it easy for people. And again, it's like, well, fuck you, Lisa. I don't do that thing. And I don't, that's fine. Like nobody's ever.
That's a dog. That's Shayla. She's decided
that's the dog again. Both of the dogs know keywords. So if we say certain words, they know that it means we're like. And so if she's
stretching and growling at us.
Yeah. So she may have heard us say OUT or a word like that, and she's like, "Oh, really? Okay." And now she's over here wagging at us, going, "Yep, time to do that."
Yep. So we're gonna call it a day. This was actually longer than we thought we would make it with.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna die. Like,
but I'm getting there.
Well, I hope our rambling back and forth was helpful.
Yes. Shayla, relax.
It's okay, baby. Come on. Come here. She won't come up because then she knows we're gonna want her to cuddle. So.
She's just staring at Peggy, wagging her tail and stretching.
But I don't know, like fitting, and don't forget, fitting in isn't something you have to do. If you don't fit in, find somewhere else that you do fit in. Fuck them.
Great way to wrap it up.
Yeah,
we love you guys.
I love
this. As you are.
Apparently, fuck him is my new tagline. I'll be saying fuck him at least once a video from now on.
Probably, yeah.
Until I think of something video. Maybe I'll cycle back to farting again though one day.
Nope, we're good with I like fuck him much better than.
Okay, guys, you guys all have a great Saturday.
Have a great Saturday, and we will see you all again very soon.
We are apparently being coerced into OUT time.
My weekly deck review will be up tomorrow morning. Apologies for the voice and the coughing, but it will be up. I'll be talking about the Alice Tarot and the Enchanted Map Oracle.
Stop. Baby,
and I'll also tell you what I'm working with next week, but spoiler alert, I totally lied because the deck I thought I was going to work with. You lied? I did.
You lied.
The deck I thought I was going to work with, I flipped through and I was like, nope. So I'm working with something else. So that'll be a fun surprise for the following weekend. Anyways, talk to you all later.
Bruno is trying. She's trying bullying, and he's just trying being a big.
We're gonna say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
I could have hit the button. It's not working. Oh, there we go. Did I do it? No. Nope.
Look at him. He's like,
look, we're still going.
We're still going.
I can't.
Well, Bruno has decided that